Basketball is my life. I have nothing else.
This is incredible. This is the best grateful I've ever heard.
Shooters. That's what we do.
Shooters, a basketball podcast. Let's go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on season 2, episode 14. This was the interview episode, but we've had a little problem here or there, mix up of times. That stuff happens, but we still wanted to get an episode out for the Thursday listeners because we know you're appreciating it, and we just love chatting it up, making some content, talking all things hoops and catching up, and you guys listening. So, Darren, how's your week been? How's your weekend?
It's been good. Been very good. No NBL basketball, but it was WNBL on. Enjoyed a game. I think I was saying to someone, I enjoy their Wednesday night viewing. They've just decided that Wednesday night is going to be their thing. And especially when it's like 10 minutes down the road, which it was last week. So it we spoke about Thursday as your Shooters Day, and that makes us feel like the weekend's coming here. But Wednesday, they've picked us off there. That makes it feel like the weekend's already coming as well. So my week's been good. How's your week off been, if it has been relaxing?
So we haven't really got much planned for this episode, so we're just going to chop it up, talk about the week, talk about the FIBA break a little bit, catch up. It'll be a shorter episode, but still all things basketball. First off, I was on Twitter scrolling through the other day, and I saw a couple people complaining about the Thursday night games.
Oh.
So when we talked about it, it was an all-in consensus that we enjoy the Thursday night games. It means that the weekend's close. It's exciting. They were talking about the early start on work on Friday, having the kids running around late at night on Thursday trying to watch. So I get it from that perspective. But a Wednesday night game, Darren, you enjoyed it.
I did. I think it's great. I know it's a bit awkward. I was thinking to myself, I don't know if their tip-off was 7, but even 7, it's a bit hard to get to if you like work in the city and whatnot. But at the same time, it's once you do get there, or you can just go home and watch it straight from there. But the people on Twitter were saying it's just the whole, I don't know, dealing with family and dealing with your kids and stuff. Like, what did they not like about Thursday night?
Yeah, the main thing was just a school day. So they're trying to stay up. The kids are trying to stay up too. It can be a late night, 9:30, 10 o'clock on a school day. So that was the main gripe that I was seeing on Twitter. But which is fair enough. Fair enough. We're both not parents, so maybe in 10, 15 years we'll be complaining about Thursday night games too.
I totally get the New Zealand tip-offs when it's like 5:30. That always throws me off. I'm just like in the office and I'm just like, oh, there's a game on in an hour. What's going on here? But I don't mind it actually. But talk me through your week. What did you actually do? Do you properly get a week off, or do you still training sessions here and there?
Well, let me break it down from the start. Well, so this week, if you don't know, is FIBA break. It's like a FIBA window. And so what's a FIBA window? So everyone in the world, besides a few leagues, the NBA, the China League, we play under the FIBA basketball rules, but under their system, and we follow their guidelines. And so being part of a FIBA break means whenever that international basketball happens, all leagues have to stop. So the NBL was stopping last week. You had European leagues stopping, German leagues stop. All of them stopped playing because they got to play their international basketball. Now, the reason that Australia had no games or no teams suiting up was because we've already qualified for the Olympics. So we've qualified for the Olympics. New Zealand has qualified for the Olympics, so they weren't playing games either. But right now, during this week, there was a bunch of international teams all around the world competing, playing each other, flying from place to place, trying to secure an Olympic spot. So if that's why you're wondering why there was no games this weekend, that is the exact reason. There's nothing the NBL could have done about it. Nothing the league, teams, players. Even though Australia wasn't playing, it's just part of the rules in case anyone in the league wanted to go play for a country or whatever the case is there. Secondly, our week is, so we played on, I think it was a Saturday. We had Sunday off, and then we had a hard week. Monday, Tuesday practice. We had Monday, Tuesday off. Then we had an intense Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Practice with Friday. We got outside, some extra conditioning. We're running sprints on the ovals and we're working hard. And then we had a weekend off, Saturday, Sunday, and then kind of straight back into it on Monday, prepping for Adelaide this weekend. But I've actually got a good story for you.
I was going to say, before you jump in, I'm going to ask a random question here. What's your least favorite sort of drill or something to do in practice? Like more like a fitness thing. What's something you hate? Do they still do suicides? Is that still a thing?
Suicides are still a thing.
Okay.
For the people listening, that's where you have to touch the free throw line, baseline, half court, baseline, opposite free throw, baseline to baseline. Least fitness. It's got to be like, we call it this like 4-minute shooting drill.
Oh.
And
Sounds
so pretty
alright.
much it's just like 3 lines on the baseline, 3 people on the opposite baseline. And it's kind of like one person lays it up, the 2 people kind of cross and then shoot like a little elbow jump shot. And it's a conditioning drill, really disguised as a shooting drill.
Okay.
And it's always like put in like straight after a hard scrimmage or straight after something where you just get a little like breaks like the flow of practice and you get some extra conditioning. And
nice. What about the beep test? Is that still a thing?
it's changed a little bit. So we do the yo-yo test.
The yo-yo.
So it's a little different. So the beep test, it's similar. Beep test, you continuously run.
Yes.
So it's like 1, 2, 3. Yo-yo, you run up and back, and then you have a 10-second break.
Okay.
So it's a bit more basketball focused. And then the run is a lot quicker. So it's like less of like a jog. It's more of a run. And then we do that. I was actually the Jack Jumpers winner this year.
There you go. Love that.
Yeah. So fittest yo-yo runner in the Jack Jumpers.
Yeah, I just remember beep test. I'm pretty sure most people in high school would have been made to do the beep test at some point. Like if you think back to those, and that there's like a distinct sound that comes on every time you cross the line or you have to go back. I forgot how it works, but I wasn't ever great at it, but I do remember it. Anyway, Adelaide story. Go for it.
So I fly to Adelaide for the weekend. Most of us had some time to get out. I know Mags went up home. Fab went to Sydney to see his fam. It's a great opportunity where you got 2 days off, fly out Friday afternoon, see some family. So it's Sunday and I'm getting ready to head back and the online check-in for Jetstar isn't working. So I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. It's cool. So I rock up to the Jetstar and I rock up with 40 minutes to board, but I go up to check in, and I get a hard computer says no, access denied. It's too late to check in.
40 minutes.
45 is the cutoff time for Jetstar. I didn't have any check-in bags. It was just my backpack, traveling light. But I missed my flight. They didn't let me on the flight. I missed my flight, even though there was 35 minutes till boarding started. Damn. But I was in Adelaide. I was a little distraught for a couple minutes, had to call big Scotty and say, hey, like I've missed my flight. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
Oh, this was coming back to Tassie.
This is coming back to Tassie. So I missed practice on Monday.
Wow. I thought you meant it was going to Adelaide, which it wouldn't have been that bad because it would have just been, friends or family time or whatever. But hey, there you go.
So I'm in Adelaide. I call Beth's mum because that's who dropped me off because Beth was at a work party. Can you come pick me up, please? And so we ended up having a great little dinner date. But I definitely got in trouble. A little bit. I got a fine. I won't disclose how much, but it was enough to buy yourself like a little resort. So I wouldn't recommend missing practice. But yeah, it was a scary call. But then I enjoyed an extra night with Beth and got after it today in training. But not my best work, not my proudest moment. Probably the least professional thing I've ever done in my career. But I apologized and we had some good chats and it was a genuine accident and the first one that I've really ever had in my career. So they were all cool. They understood that life happens, but definitely a learning lesson for me and anyone listening. 45 minutes, make sure you get there before if you haven't checked in online.
Damn, in the doghouse for a bit, by the sounds of it. I'm one of those people, I don't travel often, but when I do, Jess and I were actually talking about it before, when I do, even if it's domestic, I'm like, 3 hours? 3 hours before? Is that what we're doing here? I just like to, even if I'm there way too early, I just like to get there, grab a coffee and just relax so I know. But have you ever been that person that you're like literally running to your boarding gate? Have you ever done that?
I would say I'm that person all the time.
I've never not been that person.
Yes, I'm a for example, the next day, online checked in or on the flight to Tassie, because the next day I did get there early. I'm rocking up. I'm parking my car. It's 20 minutes before. So I'm walking, I get check in, and then I walk straight to the flight, and I walk on their boarding, and I'm spending about 7 minutes in the airport. Especially this is different when you go to small like Hobart and smaller airports. Like Melbourne and Sydney is a different deal, but the small airports I'm relaxing as long as I'm usually online checked.
Yes, that's true. That's mistakes were made, but that's you learnt your lesson. We're actually on the way back from Europe. Jess and I were those people that you got your name called out over the intercom, and they were just like, "Mate, like you better hurry up." And it was funny because Jess just got like her lunch, and it was just like a nice hot dog, but it was like it wasn't in a bag or anything. It was just like out in the open. So we were just like those awkward passengers last on the plane. She just has a hot dog out. The people are actually really nice about it. They're just like, you do realize we provide food on the service, don't you? Because you just have a massive hot dog in your hand. But and we also did it in America once, but it was that classic situation where you run. Like a few of my friends and I, you run because you feel like you're going to be late, and then it's like delayed, like what you said, 45 minutes or 50 minutes or something. So we all have experiences.
Yep, I think everyone that's traveled enough has been there. But waiting for the hot dog, got you guys' name called. Did you feel special?
I just felt awkward. I felt embarrassed. I was like, I mean, that was more the reaction. I was like, oh, geez, how the hell did we become those people? But I was saying this to you off air. I like we're calling it the mid-season break just because there was no FIBA. That's I heard a fair few people be like, why is there no games? But as you explained before, but a little wholesome thing, just like the amount of social media posts that I saw with you guys, with your family. And I saw Shay Ely just like, playing. I don't think he was playing. He was just filming his family or friends, I assume, just playing basketball in the backyard and just like having a good old laugh. So even if there's no games during FIBA break, I think it's quite a good time just for you guys to switch off after 8 rounds, have a bit of family time, reset a little, rather than it's just like constant. So some definite positives from the week.
Yeah, it's definitely been nice. Well, we'll get into the basketball with the break over and done. Games coming this week. We've got Adelaide versus New Zealand on Thursday night. I'm personally looking forward to a Thursday night game, so I don't listen to those people out there. But is there any teams in particular you're excited to watch? Any players or you're kind of itching to see maybe take that next step, or someone find their rhythm, or any situations that you're excited to see how they play out in this upcoming next couple of weeks?
There's a few like middle of the ground kind of teams, I call them, like Brisbane. I kind of want them to do well. I don't know. There's just something about this roster and this culture that I'm like, yep, I can see them doing well. Hope Tyra Harrison, whatever his injury was, he can actually keep playing and keep doing his thing because he was looking great. And Cairns as well. I don't know. I just want them. They just need bodies. They just need health. It feels like they've had rotten luck with that regard, even though all teams go through that kind of stuff. But I'm just keen for it to come back on. I was the look ahead to this weekend. I always choose what games are in Melbourne that I want to go to, but there's 4 total games in Melbourne, including WNBL on the weekend. So I have some decisions to make. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. I don't know what to do with myself.
There you go. It's a lot of basketball coming up and around. I agree with the Cairns stuff. I remember seeing in the press conference post our game, them talking about that they've only had 2 games really together with their full roster. And I checked it, and that's 100% on the money. They just have not been able to put together games with their teams. So that is going to be exciting. And then seeing what 40 does with that group is going to be fun. And then Brisbane is another good one where their culture is being built. They've lost some close ones that maybe if they just ticked over that edge, a little bit more experience together is going to be fun. But I'm always loving following the top team and seeing how they handle a break and seeing how they handle kind of that pressure that starts to come with winning a lot of games. Teams suit up every night a little bit different. So I'm excited to see what Melbourne United does, because right now they've been the staple of the league. They're clearly the best team right now. They're playing good basketball. Defensively, they're the number 1 team. They're the only team keeping other oppositions under 85 points a game. So when you're doing that at a higher level, it just goes to show that you're gonna play some winning basketball.
For sure. And speaking of only playing a certain amount of time with your full team, there was a stat the other day that Melbourne have only played like 50 seconds with their total healthy roster on the floor. And I think that was when like Travers got concussed immediately at like the opening play almost of that other game the other week. So some teams just can't put it all together, even if you're Melbourne and you're on top of the competition and you're doing everything right. But it's just one of those things, like health as a player, as a fan, it's just the most annoying thing sometimes. So let's just ban injuries for the rest of the season and we'll be laughing. We'll be fine.
You know, if we could ban injuries, then I'm all for it. So right now, our top 4 is sitting. Oh, I just had it up, but it got rid of
disappeared.
It did just disappear. My computer's freaking out.
I can help you out. Top 4.
Right, you've got it up. You want to take that over?
I'll take over this little. Oh wait, mine's frozen. What's one? NBL website. Fix your website. What's happening here?
Yeah, now we're talking.
I'll have to talk to some people. That's actually funny. Oh no, here it is. Darren, just a bit delayed over here. We'll always sort you out over at NBL. So Melbourne 10-2, Sydney 7-4, Tassie 7-5, Perth 7-5 as well. So it's close up there.
It is 100% top. And then it goes to show, you know, I love these podcasts. I love basketball talk. I love the conversations, the media, but you can never get too caught up in it. One moment, people are screaming, fire John Riley. The next, they're tied third place. One second, it's a new Kings coach. What's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? They're in their same old fashion, sitting right at the top, coming in second place. So what's the moral of this break? I think it could be, don't buy too much into the hype of what people are saying. Study the game of basketball, and with this league, anything can happen extremely quickly.
It's so true. It's so true. We can't get caught up in all the storylines, even though some of them last the entire season. Some of them are real. Some of them happen, but that's the beauty of it. Hey, unless there's any NBL news, I've got some exciting WNBL news to tell you.
I would love to hear it.
So you've inspired me with all your writing, and I'm starting to do a bit of writing for the WNBL. So that's exciting. They put my first article on their website today, on social media as well. So you've inspired me. I just want to, help shine a light more on that league and those players and all those women over there. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of something fun, something different for me.
Well, plug the article. What was the article about? What's it called? Where do you find it?
Well, I don't know if you've heard of Substack. It's just like article resource page where you kind of just make your own page and stuff. But this one was just about the Canberra Capitals and their young guns. And it was a classic game on the weekend where it was like a top first last and Canberra almost got it done, but they lost. But I still walked away pretty damn impressed with all the young guys and Jade Melbourne over there. And just like they can fight. So they impressed me.
Nice. And the second question I got for you, if you wanted to have a WNBL player on the podcast, who would it be?
Oh, jeez. Throwing me on the spot. Great question. It's a great question. I like Jade Melbourne is definitely like one of my favorite. Always has been ever since I started following the league a bit closer, but maybe I'll get back to you on that one. Maybe if anyone listens or reckon would be a great chat, throw a name there. Please do. Hype someone up. I just want to hype someone up. Go on a bit of a rant. Anyone that's caught our attention, just give them some love. I got one. I'm staying on trend here. All about AFLW and WNBL. But Monique Conti, she popped into my head again because that article I was writing, she was playing against Canberra for one. So she was back out there pestering the hell out of Jade Melbourne on defense. But it made me just think about dual athletes again. And she walked away last night with AFLW best and fairest, clearly like a top of that competition. And then just the mindset to somehow switch from footy, like that season's done, stay on she's technically on the rosters of both. And then when her schedule allows it, she just jumps straight into the basketball season and does her thing. I just think that's a really cool thing. And it's almost something that I know people speak about it more these days, but it's just like, to get to where you guys are in one sport is a hell of an achievement. But to do it in both and not to, I don't know, wouldn't you just be a bit arrogant? You'd be like, yeah, this is, I'm great at what I do. But it's a very cool thing. So I just wanted to shout that out.
I love that. I mean, sometimes arrogance maybe is deserved. And so to go and get MVP, I know it's not called that in AFL. What is it called in AFL? It's
best and fair. Well, yeah, they call it the Brownlow in the men's, but I think they just call it best and fairest AFLW. Yeah.
Best and fairest, and then to be a starter, a bucket in the WNBL, that's no joke at all. So that's a great shout out right there. And then for me, my hype up this week is actually going to Isaac Humphries.
Ooh,
now,
okay.
Let me explain. Not only Isaac is one of my good friends, but just reflecting, I caught up with him in Adelaide over the weekend. There's two things. One, reflecting on how great of a season he's having. Healthy, strong, moving well, looking great out there. And then two, he actually wrote Beth and I a song for our wedding that he's going to be performing. And so we have our own song that he's going to be singing as Beth comes down the aisle. And so we got to hear that. He played it on the piano, and that was a very, very special moment for him, Beth, and myself this weekend. That was really the highlight of the weekend for me.
That is special. That's great. So he just surprised you, and he's just like, "Hey, you two, I got something for you." And did he like play for you, or just like, I don't know, send you a track or something? Like how did he actually show you?
Well, so we asked him to perform or sing at our wedding. We were like, we would love for you to sing while Beth's walking down the aisle, or the first dance, or we didn't know, but we would love for you to do something and sing something. And he was kind of like, what song do you guys want me to sing? And we didn't really have one. We were just like, I don't know, like, what would you kind of want to sing? And I don't know, we'll think about it. And so he writes a lot of music. And so that night he was just like, oh, let me see what I can do. And something came out super easy, super smooth, super nice. And like 25 minutes, he said it took to kind of make this song, hum it out, put in some lyrics. And then we went over to his house and he played it on the piano and sung it for us. And it was a very special moment.
That's really cool. So is it like your names and stuff in it? Like it's personalized, or is it more just a generic sort of something that he thinks you guys would like?
No, it's personalized. Our names aren't in it, but it's shouting out our relationship in specific things that we do, like the long distance, some of the foods we eat. And he likes it so much that he's probably going to release it, I think, after our wedding. So how many people can say they have a song made about their relationship? So that was a pretty crazy part of my weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to say very little people. Does it have a title? Yes, if he's releasing it, it has to come up with something.
It does have a title, but I can't spoil it. That's insider information. And he's got like kind of two titles, not really sure which one he's going to name. But yes, there's a title. It's going to be a full track. He's going to send it into his studio, and they kind of add like strings and stuff to it. So it's a proper song. I've got a song made about my relationship.
That's great. That's great. I mean, we're currently looking for a musician or two to do our wedding. So, Isaac, if you offer cheap rates to Jack and Jack's friends, then I'll happily take it.
Wow, this is a negative space. I'm just going to start chucking up random things I'm grateful for.
This is incredible. This is the best grateful for I've ever heard.
Well, that was kind of a big grateful and all that. But this week, I got to say, I'm definitely grateful for the Jack Jumpers organization. Just one, missing a flight, never good stuff. Putting your teammates in that situation, me freaking out, but just the way they handle a lot of things is always good. It's always on the money. It's always professional. Makes my job easy. Makes their job easy. It's just a good club, a place I love working at. I enjoy showing up to work every single day, and I think when most of us spend a majority of our lives at work, you want to hope you're having a good time, and a big part of that is not necessarily what you do, but who you do it with, how it's being done. And for me, I love where I work and I love showing up, and that's due to a lot of systems in place and great people. And so I'm grateful for the organization. Great
employer. Love it. Love it. I'm grateful for my brother's courageous or persistence. What did I say? Courage. Courageous. Courage. I should have just left it at that. I think most people know me and him do a very similar thing. Love our photography, love our videography, and we've basically formed a brand that he's basically combined both of that. So 2 times creative is what we're calling it, because, we're twins, and 2 times the fun, 2 times the wisdom and all that stuff. So pretty smart naming, I'd say. But his plan is to go like full-time freelance under that brand, under that banner. So he's taking that freelance leap, and I just thought that was really cool. I've always kind of wondered what that would actually be like. Obviously a completely different world in terms of financial stability and having connections and all the jobs and stuff, but that's his plan. So 2 times creative, that's our brand that we're kind of making, and he's running the show over there. So I just found that really cool that it's been in the works for a while, but it's live. So yes, that's it.
Well, that's epic for one. And then secondly, I have a million questions, but the first question I want to ask is, what is kind of his specialty? And so what is kind of the types of videos he want to be making, the type of clients he wants to be working for? And then secondly, how much are you going to be on hands, and what's your vision with what you're going to be doing with it?
Good question. Maybe don't ask a million questions, but I'm happy with a few. So So his background is more, he actually studied architecture, which doesn't make any sense with what we're doing now. But he started definitely more video. He's probably a bit more technically savvy in the video department. But just like me, we've kind of just like grown our skills to go video and photo. But if I had to say a client, it's definitely just like sports. We love sports. But in saying that, just like editing sort of I feel like anyone that has like a brand that you kind of can resonate with, or you can just be like, hey, this is a cool piece of content, he'd be more than happy to put his hand up for. So there's that one. And from my basis, it's more just like after hours stuff. If there's a shoot or something that the client or whoever reaches out to Mike and all that stuff wants both of us there, that would be great because we have fun on set. We do our thing. So I'd do it on the weekends or after hours or whatnot. But he's definitely running the show for now. And yeah, he's done a great job. It looks really cool, the website and everything.
There you go. That's epic. I mean, taking that jump, entrepreneur space is always stressful, exciting, all the things. I can imagine that the learning that's about to be happening is through the roof. Well, is there anything else you'd love to say before we end this episode? And next week, we'll be back to our regular scheduled program. And along the way, we might be sneaking in a little interview, which was planned today, but we'll get it done, guys.
We will. Don't worry. We'll make it happen. No, but that's it for me. Good catching up. That's all we want to do here. Yeah, nice catching up. Unless you have anything else to add, go bloody play some basketball again, will ya?
I can do that for you. Hey, appreciate you guys for listening. Hope you're having a great Thursday. And I look forward to seeing you guys again on the next episode of Shooters Pod.